I have a question for you, Kirby. So, for those of you who don't know, my screen just got brighter because I pulled up this question. Um, every episode we try and ask kind of like a little bit more of an impactful question. I think it's kind of just going to be a more generalized impactful question versus like we were kind of doing stuff more directed towards men. But I think this is kind of more just impactful in your life and that sort of stuff. And then we do a hypothetical, just kind of wind things down, end the show, kind of leave it on a more solid note. So the question I have for you today, Kirby, is, it's really funny because we kind of answer this. What's changing in your life? And the question is directed for more towards what in your life is changing for the better, right? What could you point to that you're like, man, this is changing in my life?
I don't know that I could specifically point to one thing because I generally have an attitude in my life of trying to better myself every day to the best of my abilities. So, I mean, the first two things that come to my mind are over time in recent years, or even just this year, actually. I've been working on my health, hitting the gym, getting stronger, feeling healthier, weight's down a bit, But also I put a lot of work kind of once again on that mental health aspect of my relationship with my wife and making sure we're communicating effectively.
Yeah.
And, being a good husband, being a good father.
Yeah.
And now that my coworker is leaving me, I got a whole bunch of shit to learn at work. And I've been putting in the work. I'm learning it like I'm ready as I can be.
Yeah, that's all you can do, honestly.
Yeah. I would say everything's getting better because I put the work in.
Hell yeah. So, okay, so I want to ask you a little bit of a follow-up question. And I'll answer the question as well here in just a moment, but I want to ask you specifically a follow-up question. What are the steps do you think that you took leading up to, let's say even just this past couple of years? What are kind of the steps that you took to move towards that betterment? What do you think are the decisions that you made, or how do you think you came across the motivation to even want to make those changes for yourself?
Fuck. That's good. I mean, I almost want to say trial and error because it's kind of the funny answer.
Yeah, no.
In that
funny but true.
I'm gonna use the example of my relationship with my wife. You make the same mistake in saying the wrong thing, doing the wrong thing in a certain way that causes an issue. You make the same mistake enough times, and at some point you finally get to the point where you go, okay, I gotta solve it, I gotta change it, I gotta fix it.
Yeah.
And then you start reaching and kind of clawing for any solution, and hopefully whatever you start trying works, and you just keep at it.
Yeah, hell yeah. Damn, right on, man. It's a weird thing trying to fucking figure your shit out, and I think I've always said this, that like, or I've always had this thought in my brain about like, do we even really like grow up properly? Like what the fuck is even being an adult? Or are we just kind of like no one has this shit figured out? I talked to my mom. This has been like a couple months ago, and we talked about the fact that she's gonna be 75 this year, and she was like, I still feel like yeah. And she was like, I still feel like I'm like, 19, 20 years old. I'm just in an older body. Like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I know what I'm doing to an extent, and I'm just getting by, and I just want to be happy and these sort of things. Like, you don't know what the fuck you're doing, but you're just trying to do better you're trying to do better tomorrow than what you did yesterday. Right. Kind of the whole mentality. And I really appreciate it. And I feel that same way where it's like, fuck, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I don't know where I'm going or what's happening. But to answer,
there's a key.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry to cut you off.
No,
there's a key
absolutely.
element that you said there of you gotta want it. You have to reach the point where you understand. It's introspect, maybe, that I think kind of comes with maturity and age of, every situation I go in, I have X problem. What's the common denominator? And it's always me.
Yeah.
And then you finally reach the point of maturity that you can start looking inward and realizing, oh, I get defensive when people mention my nose or something stupid like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whatever it might be, you have to figure it out to start making a change.
Yeah. I think you hit the nail on the head, especially with the, it is introspection. It is looking within yourself and finding not necessarily the problems, but what you want to change, right? What are the things that you look at and you go, man, I don't like this about myself, so I'm going to take these actions to change that, right? And that's the thing too, man. People get stuck in that inability to change. You get stuck in that cycle. It's a very cyclical thing of like, I'm just going to keep doing the same shit every day because it's what's been working, but it could be working better if you work on it a little bit. You know what I mean? If you put that extra effort, you could probably be living, a solid life, but then adding working out and helping and building your relationship with your wife and these sorts of things. Yeah. It's helping you live. It's helping your quality of life. It's helping you have a better quality of life, it's helping you be happier and feel more fulfilled with life. Right. It's a very like odd thing to think about, like purpose and why we're even fucking here and all that sort of shit. And I think it always boils down to, at least in my personal opinion, giving yourself purpose, finding purpose for yourself and finding out why you're here, through your actions and through the relationships that you build and through the love and happiness that you get to find throughout the journey. So, I like that. I like your answer a lot though. I like that. So pretty wacky.
Happy to help.
Yeah.
Hey, Silas, you want a shot?
You want a shot? Fucking hell.
Sorry, we were too serious. Back to it.
I was gonna say what's changing in my life. I would say, fuck, man, the fact that I'm kind of trying to maintain my relationships with my friends a little bit better. I noticed over the past couple of years I was really bad about. I'm really bad about. I'm really good at making friends. I'm not very good at keeping friends. I've had a lot of friends throughout the years. It's really hard for me unless you're just in the spaces that I'm in all the time, which is basically my Discord and then my room, which no one's here. So, basically just Discord. Yeah. Well, shut the fuck up. Unless you're in the spaces that I'm in constantly, it's really hard for me to stay in contact with you. It's very easy for me to keep in contact with someone like Ramsey because I'm talking to him all the time. I'm in Discord. I'm playing games with him. That's where I like to be anyways. So I'm going to be there, but it's harder for me to keep like my real life connections together. And so I've been trying to make the extra effort, reach out to people, try and reconnect and try and be like, hey, I just want to let you know you're on my mind. Even if I'm not there with you, like, I just want to let you know, I'm present. I'm here. Like, I know that I went and saw my best friend, just a couple weeks ago. And it was like the first time I'd seen him in months. And that's kind of how our relationship had been. And I realized like, that's not really right. That's not fair to him for me to kind of not be so present. And so having that presence of, and that want, cause like, it's not that I don't want to spend time with him. It's just, I don't ever make the time, or I don't ever have the time or find the time. And that's always the hardest part, right? Getting older. It's like you have less and less time because you get just busier and busier. But it's interesting to kind of see a little bit of the fruits of that, just because, the other day I just fucking called him. I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to call him, see what's up. And we talked for, hour, whatever. And I made 30 minutes. And I'm just like, shoot the shit, man. Like I called my brother the other day and we talked for like 2 fucking hours. I called my other buddy, that I hadn't talked to in a couple months. We talked for like 20, 30 minutes, just catching up with people, like, making plans and trying to rekindle and reconnect with people. And I think that's important for me and for everybody. Like, make sure that, relationships and friendships and stuff like that, it's not a one-sided thing on either side. Like you have to understand, like, give the energy that you're getting, but also don't overgive. You don't be too generous. Don't exhaust yourself on people who aren't going to give you back that time. But maintenance is important, man. Call and check in on your friends or even just shoot them a text, man. That's the one thing that I'm real big on. I was like, let me just shoot a text out. Hey, man, I know we don't talk, or I know it's been a minute or whatever. Like, I just wanted to call, let you know you're on my mind. I love you. And I, hope you're all right. That's, So.
I love that. I love to do that. If I am maybe I'm on a social media and I see a post from a friend I haven't talked to in a while, and I think like, oh, I haven't talked to him in a while. I try to make an effort to just shoot a text and say, hey, long time, thinking of you, hope you're good. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's really all you got to do. Mm-hmm. And that opens the dialogue for more conversation. And then maybe one thing that you said, I think was really hit the nail on the head is we have to make the time for the things that are important. It's easy to say, I don't have time to hang out with my friend.
Yeah.
But if you really want to see that friend, you will make the time.
Absolutely.
And that's kind of what it boils down to at the end of the day.
Yeah. 1,000,000%. It's a weird give and take, man. It's a weird kind of balancing act that you go through with life where you only have, I mean, it's very, morbid to think about, but like you only got an allotted amount of time. Every single one of us has got this allotted amount of time. You don't know how much of it is, and you just got to hope, it's kind of the average, but it's interesting. It's interesting how we spend that time. I don't know. This is a completely off the topic tangent, but I hate when people go, like video games are a waste of time, or whatever hobbies that you might have, that's a waste of time. If you're having fun doing it and you're enjoying that time, if you're enjoying this time that you're spending with people, or the experiences that you're having, or the story that you're getting to experience, whatever it may be, that's not a waste of time. That's and how you spend your time is how you choose to spend it, right? Like that's, no one else can spend it for you. So it's an interesting thing.
It's just like you said, it's a little bit of a balancing act, because video games can be a waste of time.
Yeah.
If you are unemployed and you don't have enough money to pay your rent and you're playing World of Warcraft, then it's a waste of time and it's a problem, and it's a whole different conversation.
Yeah.
But if you're living your life and you're doing what you got to do, you're taking care of your business.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you want to sit down and play some World of Warcraft, dude, rock it. You deserve nothing but that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So stay in your lane, play video games, don't waste your time, and maintain your friendships. And
build a factory.
Better yourself. Build a factory.
Build a factory with your friends.
That
friends. Way you can maintain the relationship and grow the factory.
Yes, absolutely.
I have been dialed in to this drama.
Communication is alpha.